So now let's take a look at some of the polls. Now, if you guys don't know, I do polls on a regular basis. So every week I'm putting out different polls about the videos that I post. And the reason that I do that is I like to see how the viewers respond to some of these different polls. Sometimes I'm surprised. Sometimes it's kind of, I know what's going to happen, or I can anticipate how people are going to go with certain polls. But we're going to take a look at some of these. Some of these responses kind of shocked me. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know people felt that way. So the first poll here is, do you think we will see another stimulus check? Okay, simple enough, right? 9,200 people participated in this poll. 67% of the people said, yes, we will receive another stimulus check. 33% said no. So that's the first poll there. Now looking at this one here, do you think airlines will require a vaccine passport? Now, I talked about this. I did a video about this vaccine passport and how the European Union has indicated that Americans are going to need to have this vaccine passport in order to travel to the European Union, and that's going to be sometime in the summer. So I thought it was very interesting to ask this poll. We had 6,100 people participate in this poll. 74% of the people said yes, and 26% of the people said no. So very, very interesting response there. Would you vote for Caitlyn Jenner for California governor? So I posted a video last week talking about Caitlyn Jenner wants to run for governor. She has not officially announced that she will be running for governor, but she did put out a press release stating her interests for running for governor. Now, we do know that they have the numbers when it comes to the recall in California. So it's going to be a recall race, which means that Governor Gavin Newsom, he could lose his governorship, and if he loses it, then they're going to have someone come in and take his place. And it's going to be majority wins. So if Caitlyn Jenner has the majority of the votes, she will be our next governor. Obviously, there are going to be a lot of other people in the race, but Caitlyn Jenner is the first person who has unofficially announced. Okay, so we have 5,700 people that participated in this poll. And look at this. 10% of the people said yes. They think, or they would vote for Caitlyn Jenner. And then 90% of the people said no. So if these 5,700 people live in California, then Caitlyn Jenner is not very popular amongst them. Okay, let's move forward here. Would you get vaccinated if it meant you could travel internationally? So this is one of the questions. We talked about the vaccine passport. Is this something that you would do? Like if you wanted to travel outside of the country, would you get vaccinated just so you can travel outside the country? 4,300 people participated in this poll. 31% of the people said yes, they would. 69% of the people said no. So the vast majority of people said, you know what, I'm not going to get vaccinated just to travel internationally. Well, this is going to be interesting because you do have countries that are contemplating this right now. They're contemplating, should we require that people be vaccinated to travel to our country? And of course, a lot of these countries make money on it, just like us, they make money on tourism. So do you really want to make it hard for people to travel? And if people are refusing to get vaccinated to travel, how are you going to handle that as a country? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few months. The European Union kind of set the standard right now. And so we'll have to see if other countries follow suit. All right, let's move forward here. Do you think we need another round of stimulus for the American people? Now, this is, do you think we need? Okay, it's not, will we get another one? Do you think we need another one? And we had 8,500 people participate in this poll. 93% of the people said, yes, we need another round of stimulus. And 7% of the people said no. Okay, let's move on here. Do you think a child tax credit should be permanent? So do you think this child tax credit should be permanent? 4,500 people participated in this poll. 68% of the people said yes, it should be permanent. 32% of the people said no, it should not be permanent. Now, what we're looking at right now with President Biden, the American Families Plan, and I talked a little bit about this last week, he wants to move forward and extend the child tax credit because we already have a child tax credit. Okay, so that was already passed in the last stimulus package. And so the way they have this planned right now is in July, people will start receiving the child tax credit. They're going to receive it from July until the end of the year. they'll receive these monthly payments. And then after that, 2022, you can file, when you file your taxes, you can claim the second half. And then after that, that's it. It's done. But what President Biden wants to do is he wants to extend it into 2025. And so that's in the American Families Plan. So that's what we're looking at when it comes to that. We'll have to follow it and see where it goes when it comes to the American Families Plan, because that needs to be approved, and has not been approved yet. Do you think a tax credit for individuals without children should be offered? Now, this is a really important one, right? You have the child tax credit, but what about these other credits for people who don't have children? Do they exist? Well, we do have one. We have the earned income tax credit. That does exist, and it's been around, and they want to actually extend that out a little bit more in the American Families Plan. That is the talk right now. However, they're not talking about any type of a monthly payment. That would be nice if you made it some way where you can do monthly payments, so you advance it. Just like the stimulus checks have been advanced, just like the child tax credit, they're going to advance a portion of it. Why not advance a portion of the earned income tax? That way you can give people monthly payments. So that's something hopefully they're considering. So getting back to the poll here, 4,900 people participated in this poll. 84% of the people said yes. Okay, so vast majority of people say yes, we need something for people who do not have kids. And then 16% of the people said no. Now, one other thing I want to mention, the earned income tax credit, that's for people who are working, so low income workers. What about people who are retired? What about people who are on Social Security, SSI, SSDI? So this is where it gets a little tricky, because how are you going to handle that? The tax credit, if you're not filing your taxes, you're not going to benefit from a tax credit. And so that's when we're going to have to look at some type of other means to give them some type of monthly payments as well. One of the talks was raising the Social Security by $200 per month. That was talked about in the past. We haven't heard anything recently about that, but maybe that will pick up steam in the future, because if you're talking about child tax credits, if you're talking about credits for the earned income tax credit for low income earners, then quite naturally you're going to need to talk about something for people who are on Social Security, people who are retired, people who are on disability. So we'll have to follow it and see where that goes. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification. That way you'll know anytime that information comes out. I'm going to be sure to try to get that out to you as soon as possible. Okay. Do you expect President Biden to talk about stimulus checks in tonight's speech? Okay, so President Biden spoke to the joint session of Congress on Wednesday. We already know the results, but I do want to go over this poll just to see how you guys thought prior to his speech. 6,600 people participated in this poll. 54% of you said yes, you do think that he's going to talk about stimulus checks. 46% of the people said no, and he did not talk about stimulus checks. So he didn't mention stimulus checks in his speech. Okay. Did you receive a stimulus check plus up? So these are the plus ups. I did a video about this a couple of days ago. 1,500 people participated in this poll. 14% of the people said yes, they received a plus up, and 86% of the people said no. Now, if you don't know what a plus up is, just check my video. I posted it a couple of days ago. I'll probably post a link at the end of this video, and you can check out all my videos that I posted last week. So if you have questions about any of these different polls, you might not know exactly the details, just check those videos out. All righty. Do you think our government should do more or less for the American people? Now, this is more of a, do you think we should have big government or small government? And 2,500 people participated in this poll, and we're looking at 93% of the people said yes, 7% of the people said no. Now, we saw in the pandemic, there was a lot of situations where we were looking at our government and seeing how inefficient they are, or they were. I'll say they are, because we're still going through some of the same problems. And I think this was an eye-opener. This pandemic was an eye-opener to a lot of people, because they didn't realize how dysfunctional our government is, and how we have Democrats and Republicans, and they do not want to get along. And it's like pulling teeth in order to get something done, because of the way our system is set up. But it's up to the people. It's up to me and you to say, look, politicians, you need to do this, you need to do that. We need to dictate what they do, not the party. Okay, right now we have the Democrats The party is dictating what they do. The Republicans, the party is dictating what they do. It's not the people. It's the party and it's corporations. And then we're third. So we need to be first on that list. We need to let politicians know, look, this is what we want. This is what we expect. All right, let's go ahead and move forward here. With the economy improving, do you think there is a need for another stimulus package? Okay, so with the economy improving, I did a video about this yesterday. The economy is doing good. I won't say doing good. The economy is doing better. So do we need another stimulus package? 4,000 people participated in this poll. We're looking at 89% of the people said yes, and 11% of the people said no. So even though the economy is doing better, we still have the vast majority of people saying no, we need another stimulus package. All right, and rounding it out here, do you think President Biden's two-part infrastructure bill will pass? 3,200 people participated in this poll. 64% of the people said yes, they think it will pass. 27% of the people said no, they don't think that the two infrastructure bills will pass. And then 9% of the people said yes, they think it will pass, but in smaller bills. Now, I tend to agree with that 9%. I think we're looking at a situation here where we're going to have these infrastructure bills broken up, because some of the stuff could be bipartisan. You can have both sides look at it and approve it, but some of the things are just non-starters. So I think they're going to have to break it up and pass them as smaller bills, maybe pass the things that they know they can get done through bipartisan votes. So in the Senate, get the 60 votes. They know that they can get this portion passed, and then pass the rest through budget reconciliation. So that's what I think we're looking at when it comes down to that. But if you guys have any questions, post them down below. Also, like I said, I'll be doing polls. I do at least a poll a day. So make sure you participate in that. I really appreciate that. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.